high school playoffs implications for sure. The Chargers coming into this game needing a win to keep their playoff hopes alive, and then they're definitely going to need some help either from their opponents to win some football games or their opponents to lose, or the teams that are ahead of them to lose this week. Robichaud, meanwhile, has, we think, clinched a playoff spot, but they need to win this ball game to keep home field advantage. My color commentator normally for today's game, Tim Sabo, he's somewhere lost out on the freeway getting here, so we're going to have to do this one alone till he gets here, and hopefully he'll be here any second now. And there you take a look at Coach Robert Yawk talking with the officials early on in a big game. This is a crosstown rivalry, so to speak. The field's a lot wet, and it should play a big part into the game. Running back number 20, Michael Orsetti, the leading ground carrier for Robichaud's 674 yards on 132 carries coming into the game. And Chuck Reynolds, of course, he's been player of the week in the Free Press as well as the News this year, rushing for 1,468 yards on 157 attempts. So we're in for a treat to see two fine running backs. Of course, the day we did Chuck Reynolds' first game here at Crestwood High School, he didn't perform very well and lost to the Allen Park Jaguars. And kickoff's underway, and it looks like Robichaud has fumbled. It was a kind of a weird squib kick. We're waiting to see. And Crestwood's going to get the ball to open this one up. A very, very weird kickoff. I'm not even sure whether he tried to onside it or not. And now about when the time I'd ask Tim what he thought, but he's not here, so looked to me that he just kind of miskicked it a little bit. But either way, it worked out good for the Chargers, and they'll take over first down and 10. Quarterback number 4, Denny Kazmarzik. Chuck Reynolds and Jim Bates will be in the backfield. As we said just a few minutes ago, Crestwood needing this ball game to stay alive in the hunt in the Michigan High School Athletic Association's expanded playoff format. Kazmarzik will hand off. That'll be Reynolds off the left side. He looks like he lost his footing a little bit, but not before he picks up about 4 yards. And it'll be second down and 6. Rained all day, most of the day today. Sometimes heavy downpours, and the field certainly shows it along the middle where the sod is out a little bit. And so that's going to play, as I said earlier, a big factor in tonight's game. One more telecast to go. Tomorrow we'll be at Annapolis High School, where Clinton will take on Annapolis. It's been a fine year, so to speak. In fact, 3 of the 4 teams that we cover here in this area still alive in the playoff hunt. Handoff off the left side. That's Chuck Reynolds, and he'll be just a little bit short of the first down. I believe give him 5. It'll set up a third down and about a yard. Westland John Glenn still, they're going to call Reynolds' knee down back at about the 40, so only give him 3. It'll be set up a third down and 3. John Glenn High School still in the playoff hunt. They're ranked, they're number 6 in points in their region. Robichaud, of course, coming in number 1. I think Crestwood, I believe, is also number 6 in their region. Glenn and Crestwood still with a little bit of a shot to get into the playoffs. The Chargers now, big play coming up here, third down and 3. Kazmarzik will call timeout, though. So with 10-12 to go here in the first quarter, no score, and the Chargers will have a big play here, third down and 3. I'm laughing a little bit because he finally gets here. 2 minutes into the game. Glad you could make it. Yeah, I bet you did. Ford Road and Beach Daily is awful tough to find. So now we're full staffed. Of course, the other half of our crew is at a retirement party, so it just made the day that you'd be late. I thought maybe you went to the retirement party. I thought you maybe went to the retirement party with the rest of the guys, you know?
I got the Ford and Telegraph and had to make a north or south decision, and that was it.
So he made it, folks. Thanks, Rich, for proving it to us. I wasn't being the ventriloquist that I was.
How'd you handle it?
Well, Crestwood started off with looked like a missed kick on semi turned into an onside kick, and they recovered the ball at the 40. So now that I've briefed you, it's third down and 3.
One of those, huh?
Yep. Kazmarzik hands the ball off to Reynolds, and it looks like he has enough for the first down. Number 5, Jamal Bohannon coming in really late, smacking one of the Charger players. I mean, this has been very early on, but I've seen some really funny looking spots here, so they're gonna have to measure. Didn't give Reynolds as many yards as I thought he had. Robichaud's defense just doing a superb job this year. I don't have the exact amount of points that they have allowed. There you take a look at Reynolds,
look at that.
like I said.
1,468 for Chucky.
They haven't allowed very many touchdowns. Of course, Reynolds has 18 of them on the year. So it's
the graph showed 17
for him. Well, he has one on a kickoff return.
Oh, they didn't count that, huh?
So it'll be 4th down, and it looks like about 10 inches from here. Not 9, but 10. And we'll see if Crestwood's going to go for it, and they are.
Should have a good sloppy, muddy one out there tonight, huh?
Yeah, the field is certainly in the middle, down near the Crestwood end that they'd be defending here in the first quarter. Is very, very slick and underwater. So 4th down and about a foot. We'll see maybe if Jim Bates will get the ball for the first time on the foot to go. And they do give it to Bates, and that'll be more than enough for the first down.
I support that call.
Pick up to 2. So Jim Bates, 6'2", 230 pounds. That's without pads.
That's an 11th grader. I'd like to have him returning. A pure fullback of the Jerome Bettis mode.
I don't know if you happened to read in the paper, but Tim, we did the game yesterday, 2 days ago. Gary Phillips, State quarterbacks, ex-Dearborn Heights, Annapolis, ended up beating Crestwood yesterday. They were down by the girls basketball team. They were down by 16 and came back and won, so they completed an undefeated season in the Tri-River League.
Good for them, congratulations.
Off to the right side comes Reynolds, and good pursuit by the Robichaud defense, Steve Gill. Reynolds will get a couple. And it's been our misfortune a little bit to see Chuck Reynolds play against 2 tough teams. Robichaud very good defensively. Of course, we got to see him play against Allen Park, and Allen Park sort of shut him down, but every other team he's been getting 200 or 300 yards a game on.
Well, we'll see how he does against Stevie Gill and the Robichaud team here today. Look at there, 8 interceptions, and he's doing his best Ray Crockett on the sidelines there.
Yeah. Ray's still taking some flack for stopping at the end zone about that, but 8 interceptions for a high school athlete, certainly a lot in this. Kazmarzik will go back to throw after the fake to Reynolds. Fires it over here, and it's going to be caught by John LaPalme. Nice looking throw by Denny Kazmarzik. It'll pick up 14 yards, and it'll be a first down. Still having technical difficulties over here.
Yeah, nobody cleaned off my seat. Where's that Tiger Stadium guy that I usually flick a buck to and takes care of this for us? Had to come.
You got ants in your pants, man.
Jumping all around here.
So Kazmarzik's 1 for 1. Crestwood will have the ball, first down and 10 at the 20. It's a weird formation. 5 guys to the left of the ball. They will run the left side. All kinds of room for Chuck Reynolds. Uses speed. He's going to go all the way. Reynolds showed a little bit of speed, and Crestwood
showing a lot of bit of speed there.
Overbalanced the line out to the left side, and Robichaud didn't compensate for it, as Reynolds with a huge hole had 1 man to beat, broke it to the outside, 20 yards and a touchdown.
They probably take a look at it here. Chucky Reynolds, you know what you're saying, the overstacked line contains, and it's just 1 man to beat from there. Excellent run by Chucky Reynolds. Robichaud probably thought they were going to pull a Lions where they stack it to the left and run right all day.
No,
so
that's only the line.
Nobody in this state was expecting the play actually to go to the strong side.
Yeah, that was 5 guys stacked to the left side of the football, and Robichaud didn't account for that at all. Reynolds just had to show some speed to get in. Hand off again, the same play they ran the last time on the 14-yarder. Kazmarzik throws, and that's going to be 2. Brian Markowitz. And it looked like Robichaud thought that Kazmarzik might have went over the line, but he wasn't really close to doing it, and it's 8-0.
Well, I think that was about the best fake job you're going to see done all year, even though I don't think he faked. I think he meant to run it and decided he was going to get stopped and threw the ball. Yeah. So when you're actually doing the play as opposed to faking it, you can make it look pretty good.
So a difficult start for Coach Bob Young's team, coming in undefeated, ranked #1 in their region in points. And the Chargers, after I'd like to really figure out if they squib kicked that one or not, or at the beginning of the game. It looked like he could have just slipped, but either way, they That was a very weird kickoff. And I imagine Coach Floyd Carter's overjoyed with that first drive.
Absolutely, and points are going to stand up in the weather today. By that I mean, it may not require 35 points to take anybody out with this kind of elements involved tonight.
Generally, for if you throw the ball, you have an advantage. I would think that the running game really doesn't have that much of an advantage in this kind of a field, because the receivers know the routes they're running. For the DBs, they can't stop in this kind of field, but the running game,
that argument seems to rage on forever. Most people disagree with that, but I tend to agree with you.
That's down. He's on his knees and field the ball at the 32.
No thanks to number 31, Ivory Burks, who pushed him to his feet and told him to start running.
So that's Ryman Holtz, and I got him. That's Mr. Holt. We've announced his name before. I got him as 71, but that was 82, and there is no 82 on the roster, so we'll just have to forget about it and move along here. So Robichaud's first possession. 8:19 to go. Okay, he did switch to number 82. Thank you. So it'll be first down and 10 at the 33. Massey hands the ball off to Orsetti. And Michael Fight, good job by Michael Orsetti just to get a gain out of that one. He'll pick up 3. It'll be second down and 7. So second down and 7.
So Robichaud's done everything expected of him so far this season, and Crestwood having a fine season in their own right.
Crestwood needing to win here, and they need a little bit of help to make the playoffs. Still very, very possible.
Looks like a bright sunny day on the TV here.
Sure does. Massey fakes the handoff, goes back to throw. He's got Bohannon here, but it looks like it's going to be way overthrown, and it is.
Boy, you got some muscle into that throw, though. That's kind of a positive sign for Robichaud. If they know they have to throw the ball today, they're going to be in good shape.
Weird to see Coach Bob Yuck throwing up a deep pass here on the second play of the game.
Absolutely, you can bet him
to seeing that.
Might have pulled a little Lou Holtz there and just said, "Hey, take a look at this play."
So it's beginning to rain here again.
The rain is really coming down, though, on your monitor. It appears to be a sunshiny day in Miami or something.
Yeah, it does. Third down and 7. Robichaud, I'd like to get a first down here to maintain possession, if nothing else, here in the early going. Don't want to give too much momentum. Massey throws it deep. There's no one down there, and that was Denny Kazmarzik, the quarterback, that slipped and fell on the field. We got a flag on the play. That usually means a hold. And we'll have to wait and see. And Crestwood clapping, so that further usually means it's a hold. We're just one step away from realizing that it is, and it is. So Massey's already thrown the ball up twice. I mean, if I remember, Tim, he threw the ball 4 times the last time we did him.
Yeah, referee Jerry Steyer's calling the play there. You can see, yeah, you're absolutely correct. Nobody could expect Robichaud to come out throwing the ball. Which
referee who?
Jerry Steyer's.
How did you know who's the referee?
Oh, I seen a couple of them before the game last time. I recognize.
Giving you credit there.
Oh, thanks, Keith. Take it where I can get it nowadays.
Starting to know the Tri-River League refs, man. I'm impressed. Reynolds back to return the punt. And Phillips slips and falls, and boy, oh boy, so we said the field's going to play a big part in this one. It already has. Phillips slips and falls, gets away about a 27-yard kick. And the Chargers will take the ball over first down and 10 at the 38.
Look at the Chargers on the sideline there. Coach shouting a few instructions. I think he's yelling score, or something like that.
Our crew's in for a good workout today, our camera people. Yeah, Rich Anderson on the handheld for the first time, he said, in 3 years out there in the rain.
Good night to make his debut.
Yeah, it is, for his re-debut. So Crestwood will have the ball first down at 10 at the 38. I imagine it's going to be Bates and Reynolds for most of the football game. Handoff off the right side goes Chuck Reynolds. And trying to strip the ball. A couple of the Robichaud defenders, but Reynolds squirts through to the 42, picks up 3 yards.
Yeah, probably not a bad tactic. The rain, the mud. Chucky Reynolds wearing a little bit of all of it right there.
Yeah, we could see Reynolds touch the ball 30 times for sure today.
But Robichaud maybe seems to be leaning towards your theory a little bit, that, hey, maybe it's better to throw the ball. The mud and
I think it would be if you had passing teams. The thing is, both of these teams are accustomed to the run, so to really try to change their game plan could cause a lot of problems for the players.
Rule number 2, stick to your strengths, right?
Yeah, I guess. Kazmarzik there in the eye. Fake didn't get given to Bates. Bates ball forward for a yard.
For lack of a better term.
Set up 3rd down, a long 6.
Right there about says it all for the fullback Jim Bates. 79 carries, over 500 yards, and we've seen him really bust one.
60 of them.
Yeah, we saw 60 of it. Looking good. A really nice run by Jim Bates. Again, those graphics, 6'2", 230, 11th grader.
Nice for Chuck Reynolds to run behind that.
A pure fullback, not just some big guy in the backfield.
So it'll be 3rd and 5 rather. Kazmarzik goes back, has Bates, and that'll be caught. And that's enough for the 1st down, out across the 50 to the 49. Bohannon makes the stop.
And Bohannon just jabbering away. I think Stevie Gill had a few words with him, said, hey, after you tackle him, rub it in, we're losing.
So they're inside the Bulldog 50 to the 49. So thus far, Crestwood not having a problem moving the ball in the Robichaud defense.
Yeah, and you'd think the way they celebrate after each tackle that Crestwood hadn't gained a yard today.
Exactly.
They're marching.
Chargers have went to Reynolds each time when they've had the ball here on 1st down. This time's no exception. Reynolds off to the right side, gets a couple. Good looking tackle by Eddie Lawrence.
And I think the refs have about had enough of Robichaud at this point. I assume that's going to be an unsportsmanlike on the Bulldogs unless I'm completely blind. Hey, did you see that guy? He's giving him the business down there. What did he say to him?
I didn't even see anything, so.
I was kind of ad-libbing for the refs there.
No, you shouldn't have said anything. We actually believe we had a crowd mic down there. So we get
Robichaud Bulldogs goofing off, 15 yards.
I thought maybe we had one of those old ignore the Big Ten, ignore the flag things there. Yeah,
and how does that work, Keith? Is it verbally, can you get an unsportsmanlike? I assume so.
Absolutely, especially if it's directed to maybe an official after the play. He might settle the hold up, and he might have said, beep, beep, beep.
Well, I think he was, you can see Yachter, he's as confused as anybody at this point, but I don't really see why he is. I don't think there's been any discreetness used on the part of the Robichaud Bulldogs at this point, so hopefully Bob Yock's doing it simply for protection of his players because he's got every reason to expect a 15-yard penalty after what they've done so far here.
Based on some of the indications of late hits and the verbal abuse.
Yeah, the talk and stuff like that. I guess some of it, the taunting and whatnot, is going to be allowed, and you're not going to. I don't think they're nitpicking any. Do you?
No, I would think this important of a game, the guy had to really deserve it to be called this early.
So long as he wasn't physically abusing him, the verbal is enough to get the 15 yards, right?
It's enough when I'm refereeing a hockey game. I know that.
If 2 players are going at it and one guy's taunting the other guy. No, I don't think he said anything to the ref. I think
football's a little different, and they don't really allow that stuff, especially at the high school level. You know, the verbal abuse and assault can even be called.
But on another player, not on the ref. He was directing that at Chucky Reynolds.
Yeah, he could be.
Well, I agree with the call.
So 1st down and 10 at the 33. Crestwood with the football. Robichaud using up one of their timeouts here.
And we can only guess, but it appears the refs are trying to explain that to Jamal Bohannon on that shot we had right there as to exactly why they called what they called or what they expect from both teams here today. And people can say, well, he didn't do anything physically. I agree with the call. It's a high school level football game. There has to be some amount of sportsmanship involved. Tim McKyer should be the example for all our high school athletes of the country.
Biden out to this side. Again, they're in a semi-I. Jimmy Bates slipped and fell after picking up 3 yards. Crestwood hasn't been stopped for a negative amount of yardage yet today. They've ran 13 plays, so that's a pretty good job. This Robichaud defense has been very, very tough.
Absolutely. I'm surprised to see Crestwood moving it like they have. I know it's early.
I don't know what you said about the debate rages on, but I firmly believe that if you're a good offensive team and well coached, you're going to run a good game plan. You're going to have an advantage over any kind of defense in this kind of weather. Reynolds, huge hole up the middle, picks up about 5 inside the 25.
By a good game plan, you mean what?
24. Well, I'm just keeping them off balance, you know, like Crestwood has really so far. They threw a couple passes, they're running quick hitters. They're not really, you know, taking time to have their backs, you know, pick holes. They're just taking what they give them. And, you know, you can't really charge and get in on the line with you can't get any kind of footing. So these players know where their players are running to. They have a distinct advantage. The defense can't really guess too much. They can't move out there.
Boy, and the wind blowing through the booth here.
Yeah,
might have to,
you're going to put that coat back on.
Go down in the truck or something.
As Marzik, 3rd down and 2. Bates, we got a flag. That's enough for the first down, but we'll have to wait and see what the flag is. Thought I saw somebody on Crestwood's right side move, but we'll have to wait and see. And it's going to be motion against Crestwood, so that'll set up a 3rd down and 7, and that's too bad. It is a bit chilly. So the ball go back to the 30-yard line. Did you go out as a color man yesterday, trick-or-treating?
Charger power. Take a look at it. Very impressive.
You didn't
340 yards. Did I go out for Halloween as a color man?
Yeah, with maybe your earphones and your thing in your mouth.
No, I didn't. So if that was me at your door, folks, no way.
Marzik back to throw. Nice defensive play.
Absolutely.
By Stevie Gill.
You can see why he has 8 interceptions this year, which is, like you said earlier, an outstanding amount.
That was a good-looking throw by Kazmarchik, though.
Sure was. I don't know if we could take a look at that. We'll get a good chance to see why Stevie Gill may deserve to taunt a few players, I guess, if you play like that. Let's take a look at it from the start here.
So it'll be 4th down and 7 while we're waiting. There we go.
Little play action. Kazmarchik sets in the mud. Stevie Gill with just good pursuit on old number 85, Mark Stefanowski, 6'6" tight end.
They don't have any of the Stojanoviches here anymore. They'll have to go for it. And the ball is just simply dropped by Brian Markowitz. Nice looking throw again by Kazmarzik, so the Bulldogs will take over on possession. They'll start over at their own 29, 1st down and 10 with 3:07 to go here in the 1st quarter.
Look at a photo there of a dejected Brian Markowitz and the coaching staff giving him a little pat on the head and a few of the players. Nice to see. That's what it's all about.
So Robichaud will start off. Gill, Rendles. Oh, boy, 3 wide receivers out to the right side. Orsetti's not even in the game. Massey takes the ball, goes back, all kinds of time. Lots it over here. It's going to be caught by Rendles. He's hit immediately after a gain of 3.
As the football announcers would say, though, the coverage made that play. Coverage downfield by the Crestwood Chargers. Absolutely done a phenomenal job there. Makes him go to a safety valve for a pickup of basically nothing. Massey obviously wanted to go downtown on that one.
So I guess maybe Coach Yock's agreeing with what we said earlier about throwing the football. 3. They've ran 4 plays.
Well, right there's all you need to say about the field conditions, folks. He's not even wearing shoes.
Rich Anderson with a great shot, huh?
Rich is really doing a job down there.
Hand off to Orsetti. And he gets outside the 35 to about the 37. It'll set up about a 3rd and 4. Robichaud yet to have a first down so far in this football game. Has a 3rd down and 3. Stevie Gill going out of the game.
Coach Carter there yelling some instructions to the D.
Kevin Bradley out this side. Phillips and Orsetti there in the eye. 3rd down and 3. Handoff Orsetti, and he's hit immediately. Mark Stefanowski, he'll lose a yard. So it'll be 4th down, and Robichaud's going to have to punt this one out of here.
Good shot of Stefanowski there. 6'6", 295 pounds, a 12th grader there. Shot of him rolling off the field, saying, hey, I stopped him on that one. You give it a shot.
We'd like to have him and Bates in the backfield on 4th and 1. They are some big kids.
Yeah, they, like we said before, it's a 6'6", small squad, but they got some guys here and there that really stick out size-wise.
Phillips will kick it. Reynolds shouldn't be out. It's all the way to his right. He ain't going to be able to field this one either. Ball will bounce around out of bounds about the 28-yard line. Following a 36-yard punt, so the Chargers will take over 1st down and 10 with 1:39 to go, and still a lot of yipping and yapping going on down there.
Yeah, these teams are really going after each other.
Don't forget, if you're watching this, we got one more game coming up. Clinton against Annapolis. It's been a fine year here on Continental 11. Another great football season. Hopefully, with a little bit of luck, we can get 3 of our 4 viewing area teams into the high school playoffs. Kazmarza cans the ball off to Chuck Reynolds. Reynolds with another quick hitter, pops it for about 7. Maybe give him 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2. So Crestwood just appears to be going to the quick holes, and Reynolds talking to the officials. He doesn't really like what's going on after the play's over.
Is that what he's, I looked away for a moment with a little extracurricular
I
going
didn't
on
really
again.
see anything, but, you know, that doesn't mean nothing's going on. And he was definitely talking to the referees about it.
Robichaud seemed to have a little trouble keeping their footing and cutting, whereas Reynolds, maybe he's wearing different shoes or something, but he seems
on
to...
the bottom of his shoes. Reynolds, that'll be enough for the 1st down. Gain of 5. 1st down and 10 for Crestwood at the 43. 55 seconds to go here in the 1st quarter.
8-0 Chargers, Keith. Surprised?
Yeah, I figured Robichaud's defense would be really, really tough. I figured the game was going to be 14-10 one way or the other. Crestwood's a little bit ahead of that pace. It doesn't mean that Robichaud's not going to settle down a little bit, but Crestwood appears to be able to move the ball. And Chuck Reynolds with a 20-yard run got Crestwood's only score. Bates for a couple.
Well, I thought 8-0 Crestwood after 1, so it's going just about how I figured.
Yeah, I bet you did. That should be the last play of the 1st quarter if Crestwood elects it to be. Or I should say that can be the last play of the 1st quarter if Crestwood elects it to be.
It certainly looks how football should be played, doesn't it? A little chilly,
Yeah, it's kind of
mud.
fun to see this.
You don't see enough of this anymore.
Well, as much as I complained about it building the Silverdome, once in a while I kind of like it, I got to admit. So
Right there, folks. That
should be
American high school football.
That's the end of the 1st quarter. The score: the Crestwood Chargers, following a onside missed kickoff by Robichaud, they lead at 8-0. Field certainly, as we said, now I've probably said it 100 times in the redundant category, definitely has played, it's played even more of a factor than I thought it would. I figured, you know, even though the offenses would have an advantage, it hasn't appeared that Robichaud has been able to get an advantage out of it. But Crestwood certainly has done a great job with the field, you know, just basically the quick hitting plays that they've ran on the ground. Definitely showing that they've been able to, Chuck Reynolds been able to get his footing more so than the Robichaud players.
Right, and for that I don't understand, because Chucky Reynolds doesn't even appear to be slipping that much, so I'd be interested to know what his secret is.
So the start of the 2nd quarter, 2nd down and 7. Kazmarza gives it out to Reynolds, trying to go the outside. He is hit hard that time.
Goodness.
Coming out of nowhere, Ivory Burks. So Reynolds will get nothing on that one.
Ivory Burks also plays fullback, goes 5'11", 190. There's our man, Alex White. He's got to be loving it. The mud all over him. Look at that. That's a football player. Arr.
So Crestwood coming up here with a 3rd down and 7. And they have the ball first, 3rd and 7 at the 46. Kaczmarzyk's thrown the ball pretty well thus far. And another throwing chance for Denny. He's 2 of 4. One a knockdown on a good play by Stevie Gill. One of his incompletion. The other one, Markowitz simply just dropped. Kaczmarzyk looking deep to Markowitz. Great throw, and it's going to be caught by Brian Markowitz. You only need 1 foot in here, guys, and a great catch by Markowitz to the 25.
A great catch. I thought for sure that ball was going to be over and to his left side, just on the out-of-bounds side of him, just kind of basically be uncatchable, you know, with his back turned to Kaczmarzych. Boy, that was a nice play.
Great
nice
looking
job.
throw, and boy, against Allen Park, Kaczmarzych didn't appear like he could throw the ball at all, and he's just thrown 5 great passes.
Laid it in there, but there's our man right there, Brian Markowitz, 6'6", 185-pound senior, nice catch. Let's take a look at it. As Mark said, he just airs it out there, and boom, right to over his left shoulder. Robichaud says no way.
Reynolds, as we come back, gets inside the 20 to about the 19. He'll pick up 6 yards. 28-yard pass play, and Denny Kaczmarzyk's looked real good so far.
Crestwood definitely has controlled field position.
Robichaud's gonna call timeout here inside the 20 down to the 19. And it'll be 2nd down and 5. And Coach Bob Yock's gonna have to have a talk with the defensive squad to try to get them a little bit on track here and at least stop the momentum. And Crestwood, Tim, as we said, has been able to really move the ball with Reynolds and mixing it up great with the pass. Just a great throw to Brian Markowitz and a great catch.
Absolutely. Very impressive so far.
To be where they are, 2nd down and 5 at the 20.
Anytime you have a Chucky Reynolds, you're going to have opportunities to throw the ball like that, but still, execution, especially in this type of weather, is a whole different story. Let's give credit to Kaczmarzych on the play. Coach Carter instructing the troops. He's definitely had a game plan ready to be executed properly.
There goes the 30. Flowing down the field.
Blowing right past us into the group of cheerleaders.
And we have no longer a 30-yard marker or a 20-yard marker.
They're baffled by what it is, what it signifies. They toss it in the garbage pile.
Yeah, just forget about it.
What would a 30 be doing blowing through here? And there goes a 40-yard marker.
40-yard marker right
about to come
field.
into your screen here behind Chucky Reynolds. Here it comes. It's going to go for 2 yards, I think.
And there goes the 10-yard. Well, we're having too much fun with this.
Yeah, we'll let it go.
It was kind of funny that cheerleaders, they just pick it up and they say, what in the world's a 30-yard marker doing on a football field?
They were just amazed, like, what would this be doing here? There's the guys who threw them. A couple of Dearborn Heights police officers.
They do have hearts, though.
Looking for the guys who threw those yard markers.
We're not going to have any yard markers by the time this game's over there.
No, it is really picking up out here.
Yeah, it is really picking up.
Might also put Crestwood in field goal range should they elect.
That is Reynolds, and he's not going to get anything off to the left side, so, boy, the wind has really picked up. He said it was supposed to get down to 40 and that cold front was going to move in. I think it's here.
Yeah, I think it has definitely arrived. Robichaud stopped Chucky Reynolds here last year, or at Robichaud, I should say, so they're definitely psyched up about it.
Hey guys, upstairs.
Crestwood definitely
has a little something to prove maybe
game,
today.
yeah, based on what happened last year. Kaczmarzych on the roll. He looks like he could have enough for the 1st down.
It was Robichaud who stopped Chucky, but it seems to almost be Robichaud who seems to have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder here tonight.
Good job by Denny Kaczmarzych there.
Hey guys.
It's going to be real close to the 1st down.
There's all heck breaking loose here in the booth.
I don't know what's going on. So it's going to be enough for the 1st down. You got everything blowing around now. So they're at the 15.
We're going to try to get the hatch closed here up on top and
Yeah, see if we can get a little warm. That's why we're pausing here for a moment.
stop the tunnel.
So first down and 10 at the 15. Kaczmarzyk hands the ball off the right side to Reynolds. He'll get nothing. Give him a yard. So it'll be second down and 9. We're under 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Everything is just really blowing around. It's been
I feel like we're playing.
That wind's got to be blowing at least 30, 40 miles an hour. Look at that flag over there. I think I might be able to kick a 60-yarder today.
We might go out and give you a shot, too. Scott Hiltz coming off the field there.
So now we got the hatch closed.
Things settle down a little bit.
Second down and 9. Crestwood inside the 15-yard line. Kaczmarzyk fakes the handoff to Reynolds, and he's going to be sacked back to the 21. And Kaczmarzyk had a couple receivers open, but to be frank, he just had to make sure he got out of the way before he could set and throw.
We're looking at Danny Pyden. He was definitely open on the play. Danny also listed as a backup quarterback, goes 6 foot 170. He got open, but Kaczmarzyk was under pressure. No two ways about it. No fault of his.
So it'll be third down and about 16.
Camera's shaking and rattling, and wind is blowing.
So Crestwood's going to take a timeout. That's their second of the ball game.
Absolutely. They're just cold. Good shot of both teams there, and
definitely cooled off here a little bit too.
It's taken a turn for the ugly. There's some of the brave crowd. Should be commended for coming out here to support their locals, their favorite sons and daughters. Nice shot of the Crestwood cheerleaders. Carrying on the spirit regardless of the temperatures.
We got a break here. I'd like to thank all the schools involved this year in providing us, well, at least 3 of the 4 schools, and providing us with a lot of statistics and things to use here, and having us in their booths this year. It's been a fine season. We still got one more game to go, barring we don't have a hurricane tomorrow. So
we got any pizza donors to thank?
No.
Darn it.
Staff was too lazy to make calls again today. Did you call though?
No.
Kaczmarzyk back to throw on 3rd and 16. Reynolds off the outside. Fumbles the ball. He was popped hard. And we'll have to wait and see who got it.
Be very surprised if it's not Robichaud.
And Robichaud recovers the football. Reynolds was smashed. And Robichaud will get the ball at the 10-yard line.
Hard to tell who recovered it. Everybody standing up, kind of acting like they did it. Let's see if we can't bingo the hit. And I think that's Alex White who finally gets in there on the ball. He came up the happiest. We're going to credit Alex White with the recovery.
Stevie Gill caused the fumble. Good pop by Steve Gill. So a big play by the Robichaud defense.
You're absolutely right, big play. I know it's only second quarter and Robichaud's 8-0, but 15 points down with this weather isn't anything any team would like to be facing.
I think, Tim, both teams might have thrown the ball a little more going the other way because of the wind now. Orsetti out to the left side. That'll be a pickup of 12, give him 13 and enough for a first down.
Not that Robichaud hasn't had a positive attitude so far in this game, but that could be a little spark that lights a fire under him here. Something like that is definitely...
Michael Orsetti showing good speed there.
Alex White, look at him. Big play there by number 77. For those of you interested in such, Mr. White goes 6'8", 307. That's 6'8", 307.
Is that a zip code?
Kinda.
Massey hands the ball off. I believe that's going to be Orsetti again. He'll pick up about 4.
Pretty positive showing of Robichaud fans in the visiting stands also for a night like this, and high school team being on the road. See Alex just kind of dwarfing over people out there. I'm sure he'll end up playing college ball somewhere.
So it'll be 2nd down and 7.
And all Robichaud speedsters come out to the bottom side here.
Phillips single back in the offense now. They're going to run the option. Massey pitches to Phillips, and we're going to have to see whether they're going to say he recovered it inbounds. The official's looking around to the far official.
Nope, they're going to give it back to Robichaud.
We didn't really see a call, but Robichaud's going to maintain the football.
Boy, that Gary Phillips, I guess, assumed that ball was going to bounce out of bounds, but he was probably the only guy in the arena who knew it was going to go out at that point.
It was the right call.
Yeah, but he's got to pounce on that ball right there.
So they lost the 4 that Phillips gained the last time.
You don't let a ball roll out of bounds on your own.
So it'll be 3rd down and 10. 7 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the first half. Now what do we got?
It's too cold, 15 yards.
That was a quick delay of game penalty, if that's what it was.
I think that's what he's going to call.
That's what it's going to be, so it'll be 3rd down and 15. And
I agree with you. I wonder when they started the clock on that one.
Because a lot of the players were really standing around trying to figure out who they were going to give the ball to. And now we're going to have another timeout. Boy, both coaches making use of their timeouts here today.
Well, I think they're doubly important, if I may use that sentence, because of the weather and the fact that any touchdown is going to be a big deal here, and especially if Crestwood scores next. Again, you don't want to overplay the importance of a couple early touchdowns, but I think the next touchdown plays an important part in this ball game. Crestwood gets up 15-0 with the mud and the weather, and it's only going to get colder as the night goes on. They're in good shape.
So it'll be 3rd down and 15. Robichaud needing to move the ball out of their own end. Boy, it's going to be something to see Gary Phillips punt the ball into this wind if they don't get the ball out of here.
Yeah, big play here.
As we've said before, Crestwood needs to win this football game to have any shot at the playoffs at all. They also need some help, some victories by the people they have beaten, as well as losses from some teams in front of them would certainly help. And if you don't understand what I just said, it would take me hours to go in to explain it. So if you do understand, then you know what I'm talking about, I guess. So that's kind of redundant too.
Well, I didn't know what that meant, so let alone the
3rd down and 15. Let's just keep it at Crestwood needs to win.
There's a flag on the play, and Massey on the stroll.
Massey's running all over the place. Jim Bates dives at him. Massey's still on his feet. 30-yard line markers over there, but I'm sure that's not the 30. It's just blown over there. Either way, he's going to be well short of the 1st down. We're going to have to wait and see what the flag's all about. There's a couple of flags on the field.
Okay, I remember this. No stick toss. Do you want to do some other visual? Let's do the visual quick. Real fast.
Must have turned on our field mic there.
I don't know where that's coming from. That's not the players talking either. Picked up a ham radio signal off the satellite.
Yes, the Taco Bell across the street. We still haven't received an official call here, but we're about to.
Massey got 7 yards. It's motion Robichaud, so I gotta believe that's gonna be declined, but we got a clip against Robichaud, so I would take the 7-yard gain and then move him back 15 and give him another shot at it.
Nah, I'd make him punt the ball now.
They're gonna decline them both, probably.
Absolutely. This wind and whatnot.
Yeah, I gotta believe in my defense. 3rd and 25, I'd push them back more, but we'll see.
I believed in that defense and they held them already. Yeah, it's good for them. Let them punt it now.
7-yard gain for Massey.
There's a call. Illegal motion, Robichaud. He turned on the field mic there.
So they'll both be declined, and Phillips is gonna have to punt into an absolutely hellacious wind. Chuck Reynolds standing at his 45, which would be a 30-yard punt for Phillips, and I'd like to see him punt this thing 30 yards.
Chucky's moving back. I think I'd come in about 15.
And Reynolds, oh, Phillips drops it. This could be all kinds of trouble.
Yikes.
And he is hit hard at about the 23-yard line. So Phillips loses 3. And Marty Pilarski with a big play. Phillips, he still had all kinds of time to punt the ball.
Crestwood didn't get past anybody on the line of scrimmage there. He probably could have recovered, but your first instinct, I think, is to run for your life, basically.
And Gary's got to have his head up there, though, and punt the ball.
There's a man who made the tackle, number 78 for Dearborn Heights, Steve Napolitano. Hope I pronounced that right, but I doubt it. You want to give it a shot and correct me?
That's all right. You did good.
6 foot, 200.
I'm not going to knock the guy who does the films to tape transfers.
That's right.
First down and 10.
Big possession
at the 22. Reynolds off the left side. He gets drilled, and he'll get nothing. So Robichaud doing a better job on Chuck Reynolds. His last 4 carries have went for 4 yards.
Eddie Lawrence and Alex Horvath, number 65 for Crestwood, number 1 for Robichaud.
Clock continued
to highlight of that with the battle down on the end there.
We're halfway through the second quarter. Second down and 10. Markowitz comes back into the game. Look for Crestwood to throw here. Kazmarzik's done a fine job. He's 3 of 5 for 51 yards.
He gets to college.
We got another flag.
Looks like one of the guards moved for Crestwood there.
Touch me there. Touch me. Try not to. Guy got that big one, man.
We'll wait and see. They're moving him back before the call. Now here comes the call, motion. So it'll be 3rd, 2nd, and 15.
Boy, to send the area of the field where you want to make any mistakes.
Robichaud brought a big crowd with him, Tim. They have about as many people as they have during their home day games across the way.
Did I not mention that a couple minutes ago?
Oh, did you? I'm sorry.
I waited for a response 10 minutes ago. You hurt my feelings already.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Reynolds loses 3. We got another flag. I must have been thinking about what the Pistons score is. I'm sorry.
Boy, I hope that one's on, I don't hope either way, but Crestwood's going to be in trouble here if this one's on them.
Wind is whipping up even more now.
Yeah, it's really getting nasty out there.
They're discussing it with Robichaud, and we're going to have to wait and see. These penalties are taking a long time to being called and discussed here today.
Yeah, every call seems to be...
Another motion penalty. That's got to be declined. That's easy enough. You lose 3 yards and a down, or you lose 5 and give them the ball over. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's 3rd down and over 20. 3rd 21. And of course, the way Denny's been throwing, they can put the ball up. I don't know what Crestwood's kicker's range is, but certainly 10 more yards would put any kind of kicker in range with this wind.
Yeah, I agree. With the field position, they can risk it.
Yeah, 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Kazmarzik's going to go back. Fires it over to Markowitz, and that ball is just thrown way too hard off this side, so it'll be 4th down from the 30. This would be a 47-yard field goal.
I might take my chances with this wind. I mean, it is really blowing out there.
Yeah, you're going to gain 10 yards on a field goal here.
Goes back to the 35.
I mean, you're going to gain 10 with this wind, is what I meant. I'll tell you, I'd even think about punting the ball. I mean, just kicking it straight up in the air. You pin Robichaud with this wind. I don't know about giving him the ball at the 30-yard line here on 4th down and 20. But it appears Coach Carter's going to go for it here. I'm not too sure this is what I would do, but that's why I'm up here. As Marzik throws, it's going to be picked off and knocked out of bounds. Reven Holt, and a big play. Great interception by Reven Holt.
Oh boy, sure was. That was just an outstanding play. I think they're aiming for number 7, Scott Hiltz.
And if Hiltz would have caught the ball, he still would have been 15 yards short of the first down. I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, I'm a little confused myself.
So Robichaud's going to maintain or get possession. 1st down and 10 inside Crestwood's 50-yard line. Hey, I'm one of the fans like everybody else that sits there and screams, go, 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 but it's
if nothing else, that was a high-risk pass in the flat like that.
I'm not conservative by any means. Yeah, exactly. And that's not even going to get you the 1st down.
Yeah, you got to toss that ball up downfield.
If it gets picked off, you pin him inside the 10.
Right.
Whoa, a pitch to Orsetti, and Orsetti gets the rebound. Gains a yard. We got another flag on the play. What's new there?
Arcetti did a fine job of reeling that ball in and hustling around end. Everybody's pointing towards the Bulldogs, so.
Yeah, in fact, I just heard someone in the booth say it, and I was going to say it too. This is the most important game of the year for probably both teams, and just one motion penalty after another. Now we got a clipping. That's the second time we've seen that called. This is the most penalized game I think I've seen all year, and we got 4:43 to go in the first half.
I don't know if we can get a look at that again. I didn't see a clip. Is it a clip or a motion penalty he signaled there with his hand to his chest?
Clip.
Oh yeah, now he's definitely giving a clip signal. How the heck do you have time to clip somebody on a pulling guard play?
So the down will remain the same. High school, that's the way it goes. It'll be second down and 25.
Here's a look at it, and who knows?
It's very difficult to clip somebody on a 1-yard gain, I gotta say.
Yeah, somebody pulled it off.
Second and 25, first and 25. Massey fakes a handoff roll and almost lost his footing. He's got a little bit of room. He'll get 10 of the 15 back.
Nice gainer, Mr. Massey.
So it'll be second down and 15.
'75, Greg Spinopoulos coming into your screen there. Robichaud needs to put something together here. 3:50 left in the half. They trail 8-0.
They're gonna have to run the ball too. The wind blowing extremely hard right into Tom Massey's face.
Impressive numbers.
Massey fumbled the snap. Appears he fell back on it. We got another flag. Holy cow, this is ridiculous, all these flags. And that usually determines a piling on or a personal foul, and I frankly didn't see that.
Oh, boy.
Now, how can you call that when the ball's fumbled and you think it's loose?
If they're calling that on number 75, George Spinopoulos, I'm as shocked as anybody.
I know earlier on we've been held short-handed due to a retirement party and our executive producer not getting a replay, but I don't mean to put you on the spot, Craig, but if you can roll that.
We would, as a group, much appreciate it.
I just don't understand.
That's a horrible call.
I'm hoping I'm proven wrong, to be honest with you.
Let's take a look at it here. Massey,
close-up of
some of it.
Massey.
Oh, man.
Well, he did hit him good, but the guy wasn't down. The ball was loose. Yeah, but I disagree. The ball was fumbled. It wasn't me. Orsetti gets a couple.
For those of you at home confused, Keith is arguing with one of the guys in the truck.
I lose track of that sometimes, but I am arguing with him.
After further review, I am going to side with Craig and say yes. According, he was down once his knee hit the ground and he touched the ball, so I guess there was no need to jump on him.
But when he's bobbling the ball. So it'll be second down and 8.
And we can
say it doesn't really matter what we think. We got to get on with it here. Robichaud has the ball. Second down and 8. Massey in all kinds of trouble here. He is hit hard. 53, Heath Piles, I believe.
Absolutely. All 5'10", 180 pounds of them laid into him there. That was a good containment by
so Massey lost the 3 that Orsetti got. He lost 5. It'll be third down and 12. 2:51 to go here in the second quarter.
Let's take a look at it again. Massey rolls out, nowhere to go.
Jock has really has to move out of the way there. Massey going long and deep. Almost intercepted by Louvain Esley. And the pass was just, Massey did as good a job as he could. And good adjustment by Kevin Bradley to get back to the ball, but also Louvain Esley with a good adjustment. And it'll be fourth down. Well, I wouldn't be surprised here if Robichaud goes for it, based on things that have happened here, but it appears Phillips is going to go back to punt.
A couple of people calling for offensive pass interference, and I may agree with them.
So Phillips will kick it from the 42. Reynolds only 15 yards, so if Gary kicks it over his head, they're just going to make sure they don't. Now we got another penalty. It'll be a delay against Robichaud.
I can't believe this. This is either the best officiated game we've seen all year,
they're on top of everything,
or the sloppiest. I don't know if Robichaud's being informed when they're starting the 45-second clock, because they don't seem to be taking time at all to me, Keith.
They got 25 in high school, but no, it doesn't seem to be. It seems fast. They're gonna fake the kick, and Gary Phillips there's just no way. He's gonna get a couple.
Number 81, John LaPalme.
So John LaPalme, 10. They're gonna take over about the 45-yard line. Yes, so Crestwood will have the ball first and 10 at the 45. Plenty of time with this win at their back, 2 minutes and 38 seconds to add to their 8-0 lead.
I think they'd really like to put up a score here. 8-0 lead. 15 points could hold up tonight, you think?
Oh, absolutely. Piden off to this side. Markowitz.
Let's see him air one out to Piden on a fly.
To the far side. Fakes the handoff to Reynolds. Kaczmarzyk goes this way. Throws it. Oh, wide open with Stefanowski, but Kaczmarzyk had someone on him.
In the mud.
In number 82, Reven Holt. Plus, he was slipping and sliding, and tough throw for Denny.
All kinds of gook.
2:22 to go.
I like the call, though. Stefanowski was open right over the middle, and we commented in the first two games we watched Robichaud. They looked vulnerable to the pass, especially the tight end pass over the middle, but we didn't see really any team attempting it against them, and we were kind of questioned that ourselves for a couple weeks, and Crestwood seems to be doing a fine job of it. They must have saw the same games we saw.
So it'll be second down and 10. Kaczmarzyk hands the ball off to Reynolds off the right side. A little bit of a hole. Uses his speed to pick up about 6. Reynolds 17 carries so far in the first half. $70 yards for Chuck Reynolds so far.
17 carries, you say? My math going to work here with it. 4 yards a carry, 4 and some change.
Tad bit over 4. Markowitz out to this side. Piden setting up out to this side also. Handoff off to the right side. Reynolds. And he's going to be stopped short of the first down. He'll pick up a couple.
What do you do here, Keith? A minute 20 and running?
You know, I would go for it now. I mean, Robichaud hasn't proved they've been able to do anything.
All right, I'll agree with you.
4th down and 2.
Pitch it out to Reynolds for that.
You know, but on the other hand, if you don't get the ball, you're giving Robichaud at least a semi-chance. You know, if you punt this thing, they don't have any chance at all. You're guaranteed 8-0.
Right, but they'll be
if
going.
Crestwood still gets the first down, do they have any guarantee of getting any points out of this? There's no guarantee even if they get it.
Oh,
there's
boy.
all kinds of motion there, so
So
that'll probably decide it right there.
Yeah, I think they got the snap count confused.
Now I imagine you're going to see Crestwood punt it for sure.
No, though, after we saw the 4th and 20 fiasco earlier. They'll call up procedure, and again, I think they got the snap count confused there, and a couple guys are moving, a couple guys weren't.
There's a whole bunch of different guys coming in here, so I think they are going to punt it.
Tell you, right now might not be a bad time for a same fake that Robichaud just pulled. Robichaud will be going against the wind with under 40 seconds to go if they don't make it.
They're going to boot it out of here, though.
Robichaud only lines up 2 guys to the outside. He'd only have to beat number 12 at this point.
Ryan Markowitz will kick it away. Clock on the move. 30 seconds to go.
Let's see what the call is here. I'm hoping for a fake.
They're going to boot it out of there. Take a penalty first and then kick it.
They tried to draw him off sides, and now they'll for sure punt.
22 seconds to go in the first half. With the wind at their back, you got to figure he's going to get a halfway decent kick, and Robichaud's not going to have a chance to score.
They let the clock run down as far as they could, so look at the guys who are going to give it one shot here before half. Number 4, Kevin Bradley. Number 3, Derek Rendles.
Kevin Bradley also, he has 6 interceptions on the year, so 14 interceptions between Steve Gill and Kevin Bradley.
Uh-oh.
A snap over Markowitz's head, and that's going to be all kinds of trouble. So maybe that's why you go for it on 4th and 20. So Robichaud will have the ball with 17 seconds to go at the 20-yard line, but remember, Tim, from the past Robichaud games we've done, they don't kick extra points, so they certainly aren't going to be able to kick a field goal.
Right, they're going to get a chance to run maybe 2 plays here.
They're going to have to go for 6.
2 more plays than you'd like them to have if you're a Crestwood Charger. Bob Yacht called somebody safe there.
Tom Massey 1 for 3. Is going to have probably 3 chances now. Now they're winding the clock on.
Yeah, they're going to get 1, I think.
So Massey drops back. He's going to have to get rid of it. This is all they'll get. All they got to do is hit him, and that's it. I don't even think Robichaud has any more timeouts.
Yeah,
boy, that is.
I'm confused. I think you got to chuck that ball up in the end zone and pray.
Yeah, but that's the high school inexperienced 10th grade quarterback. Tom Massey, only a 10th grade quarterback, so he's got a long way to go and a long way to learn. But it's been a weird first half here. Crestwood coming out, recovering an onside kick early on, then driving on a 20-yard run by Chuck Reynolds. That score has stood up. That's the end of the first half. The Crestwood Chargers 8, the Robichaud Bulldogs no score. We'll be back for third quarter action right after this. We're back here at Crestwood High School, 8-0 halftime score. We missed the kickoff. We apologize for that.
They ran with the no huddle.
It was probably my fault because I was in the truck warming up. Kazmarzik will hand the ball off. Reynolds off the left side. He's going to break it. He's going to be gone. Chuck Reynolds with a huge hole. He's going to go all the way 68 yards, and it's a good thing I got warmed back up here, huh?
He could go all the way.
What
Beautiful
a run by Chuck Reynolds. Boy, did he pull away, too.
Oh, he was, exactly. He was pulling away after 25 yards, widening the gap between the secondary.
He is
unbelievable run.
140 yards now on the day.
Could be looking at a third player of the week on his.
Shot into a huge hole.
Let's take a look at it. A little bit of blocking. Chucky's gone. Nobody on that field is going to catch him there. He even looks good running in the open field.
Oh, yeah. Once he was through that initial 5 yards, he was gone.
Hard to pick up who threw that key block there at the beginning.
There was no way. They're going to go for 2 again. Kazmarzik fakes the handoff, just what he did the last time, rolling. Got a little bit of room at the throw to Markowitz. Incomplete. A little bit of bumping going down there, but no way they're going to call the flag there. It's going to be incomplete, exactly. So that took all of 28 seconds to start the second half.
Guess we got back just in time, huh?
Yeah, leads at 14-0.
They ran that no huddle coming out of the locker room, ran straight onto the field and kicked it and caught us off guard. There's a scoreboard, 14-0. A jubilant Crestwood Chargers sideline right there. Spaniolas and gang. Boy, that's a big touchdown, Keith.
Sure is, and Robichaud is going to have the wind at their backs here in the third quarter. They're going to have to do something with it.
Yeah, you only wonder.
Down 14-0.
Would they've been better off marching down there, but I'm sure they'll take it. Kind of a quick hitter sometimes nullifies the emotional uplift that sometimes can give a team.
I'm sure this one will have an effect, though. So we're awaiting the kick. So Stefanowski will kick it away into a heavy wind. He'll just squib it. It's going to stay in bounds. Good kick.
Uh-oh.
Bradley goes to the outside. There's just not enough field. And he'll get outside to about the 35, I believe. We had no yard markers on the field. It's very difficult to tell where the ball is. It is going to be the 35.
We'll just accept that guy who yelled it loud enough for us to hear it down there, huh?
So Robichaud will take it over. First down and 10 from the 35.
Look at a couple of charges. Hey, how'd he do that? Must have been my block that sprung him. Robichaud has got to put something together here soon, if nothing else, just to prove to themselves they can move the ball here this evening.
Massey there in the eye. Call him out, fakes a handoff, throws it up. Holtz got the ball, and he'll have enough for the first down.
Your quick hitter over the middle, good for about 12. Nice play.
Nice looking play to start it off for Robichaud here. So it'll be first down and 10. It has really gotten cold here. The temperature's dropped probably 20 degrees since game time. Plus the wind's picked up and the wind chill's got to be. Of course, it's perfect weather to play football in, though.
That's what they say, right?
Orsetti off the right side. He's going to get a yard. We got 2 flags, 1 from each side. And we'll have to wait and see what the flag's all about.
That's on Michael for the year.
It's going to be a face mask against Crestwood.
This guy's getting more camera time tonight than he's our favorite NFL official, Jerry Seaman. Gets on the camera all the time.
So it'll be first down and 10 for Robichaud. So that'll help the Bulldogs out a little bit. Boy, they weren't aware of the mark-off while they were in the huddle. They were huddling back 40 yards. Had to hurry to the line of scrimmage. They better hurry and get this off. Massey hands the ball off.
Nice
straight up the middle to Phillips.
Very nicely done, though, by the Robichaud Bulldogs.
He'll get 5.
There's a look at the replay there.
Look at the ground. It's all muddy.
We mentioned it's ice cold in here. We haven't?
Yeah, no, we have.
Okay.
Second and 5. Massey off the right side. Orsetti tries to get through, but he's not going to do it. Number 75.
Phenomenal held him up, but I think that was number 50, Dave Crispin, who really finished him off.
2-yard pickup for Orsetti.
Here's looking number 75. George Panopoulos held him up for Dave Crispin to come in and put his 6'2", 208-pound frame all over him.
Robichaud's like this. Well, Coach Bob Yock would like to see his Bulldogs get a score here.
Well, I'll counter with Coach Floyd Carter would like to see him not score here. Just in terms of equal airtime.
Robichaud definitely needs some. Massey fumbles the football, bounces right back into his hands. He'll lose a couple of yards, but it'll set up a 4th down, more importantly, and I'm sure Robichaud's going to end up going for it here, but they're in all kinds of trouble now here on 4th down.
Yeah, they certainly got a fortunate break there. That ball came right back to Massey.
And Robichaud's going to take a timeout here.
Far be it from us to question, but I remember in the first 2 games we saw here also, not here, but Robichaud games we covered, we both questioned Coach Yock's use of timeouts there also.
I think in high school, it's less important to save them down near the end of the game because you know, you're coaching athletes here that are learning the game, and you know, you might want them to do a certain thing that you can't tell them and really explain in 25 seconds. So whereas with pros in college, generally they know what they're doing out there, and you generally save those kinds of timeouts only to stop the clock, where I think in high school you need maybe to strategize a little bit more and use your timeouts in that way. Whereas in the pro game, really timeouts are used exclusively as measures just to get yourself more plays. Whereas in the high school level, more so it's used to help the team a little more.
I'll stand enlightened by those comments. Thank you very much. Very well put.
4th down and 7. They're going to end up going for it. They're in the eyes. Same kind of play. Driving Holt inside the 20 down to the 16, and a great call by Coach Yuck. So there's a case, Tim, where maybe it might have been worth the timeout to pick up a valuable first down and to keep the drive going.
Absolutely. I guess that's exactly what you hope for when you call a timeout in a spot like that, is to instruct them on a specific play, as you said. And when it's carried out like that, I guess it makes everybody look smart, except for you and I.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 from the 18. There you take a look at it.
Quick hitter. Holtz.
8:20 to go in the 3rd quarter, 14-0. Handoff, first man through. Phillips got a big hole off to the right side. He's going to score. 18-yard run for Gary Phillips, and a big 4th and 7 play has put the Bulldogs back into this football game. It's 14-6.
Some big confidence boosters right there. The 4th down play and that touchdown right there, answering Crestwood. You got to be very impressed right there. Phillips, 186 yards on the season, and not to beleaguer the point, but that's kind of what I was hitting at. Like, sometimes you score too quick, you know what I mean? It really doesn't develop any momentum for you.
No, you did say that. You're right. And I didn't think it was going to happen that Robichaud was going to drive right back down the field. It appeared Crestwood had him stopped on a 4th and 7.
So here you almost can feel the momentum maybe change to Robichaud now, thinking they can do it from here on out.
And Coach Yuck with a quick hitter call. Ivan Holt with 2 completions that way on this drive, one on a 4th and 7. Then Crestwood did go for the fake. Here's Phillips, an all-important extra point for Elton. 14-7 now. And that was an all-important drive. Robichaud almost had to score there to show they could do something with the ball.
They did.
And it's 14-7.
I think we may see a different game from here out. I think maybe that's a little bit of the Robichaud team Crestwood was concerned about. Right there was the Robichaud Bulldogs that Crestwood expected to see here tonight, and probably in the back of their mind it was concerned with a little bit, and now they got to be questioning, have we held them all night, or they have just not been ready to roll?
No, I agree with you.
So this is going to be an important possession these next for each team. If you hear anything clattering, I think it's my teeth.
Yeah, you know, usually to be honest, we seem once in a while we thank, and a lot of times we forget to thank the camera people and stuff, but it's an extra special effort today for Dave Baker and I believe Robert, our 2 interns, to be standing up on top of where we're broadcasting, which seemingly, I don't know, what do you think, 40 feet in the air, 50 feet in the air? And the wind's blowing 40 miles an hour. They got no fences around this thing. They're just standing up there.
There's Danny Pye, 91-yard kick return, but he is going to see no part of this. Robichaud squibs it, hoping for a swing of momentum, maybe a pickup on a turnover, and Marchie didn't tie this ball game, but it's not going to happen here. Crestwood recovers, does a nice job, is going to get the benefit of some field position.
Crestwood did a good job, so.
And that's not easy. It looks easy, but it's ice cold and wet, and you got linemen handling the ball.
So before I forget that, a fine job by the crew today. Trying conditions for sure. 1st down and 10, handoff left side, Reynolds picking a hole and go! My goodness, he almost got through. 14 yards for Reynolds. He has 154 on the day now.
Chucky Reynolds answers back. That's what we said. This possession could be critical. And I think that's a really big plan. 1st down to say, hey guys, nobody gonna run the ball on us or come back and score on us. We can still move the ball, nothing hurt. Nice answer by Chucky Reynolds and the Chargers.
Holt on the stop. He's played a fine game so far.
He certainly has.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 for Crestwood. Jim Bates and Chuck Reynolds there in the eye. Boy, Bates, look at Bates and Reynolds, twice the size. Hand off Reynolds, and just through the hole there. Got to pick up a couple.
Lumbering out of the pile there, number 76. Big fella for Robichaud. That's Andre Johnson. Yikes. Got him listed at 6'2", 268 also, so.
Gold was also involved in the play. He's played a fine game so far.
Bob Yaka, extremely animated and vocal coach, and getting a good shot of it right there.
So 2nd down and 7 from the 44. 6:45 to go. Hand off again, Reynolds, and Reynolds will just get a yard this time.
It was Alex White and friends really putting a lick on him right there. That one looked like it hurt a little.
And Reynolds really got popped on that one. It'll set up 3rd down and 6. We'll hit the 6-minute mark of the 3rd quarter before this play's ran.
Shot of Markowitz, who had the fine reception, and at this point you could almost probably say the key play of the game. Give or take Chucky Reynolds' burst.
Yep. Did you say anything about the Robichaud crowd over there?
Yes, I have noticed that. Chucky Reynolds is familiar with long runs.
3rd down and 5, rolling this way. Kazmarzik looking for Markowitz. He's well covered. And Denny's gonna, with a great effort, he's gonna have the 1st down. Down to the 25-yard line.
You're absolutely right. An extremely fine effort by Denny Kazmarzik. He beat his outside man there. Difference between a loss and a 1st down. I believe that's Steve Gill he beats at the...
So Kazmarzik gets 14. I lost track of the blown markers again. He's down to the 30, not the 25, but it's still more than enough for the 1st down. That's what's important. And we're gonna have a officials timeout. We're gonna have to wait and see. And I don't know what it's being called for.
I think it's just too cold. They're gonna take a couple minutes off
here. They told
here.
Big Alex he has to go off the field for some reason or other.
I'd be standing behind him if I was a ref. I think he's hurting her. Might be ushering him off for his own good. A good shot of Bob Yock. I don't know what Coach Yock is yelling about.
Alex, why are you getting hurt now?
Huh?
I said, Alex, why are you getting hurt now?
Yeah. I hope that's not what he was saying, but it certainly did appear to be that way, but I can't believe that.
No,
so.
he didn't say that.
Alex kind of moseying off the field. It's your old friend Millie, isn't it? Right there?
Yeah, the old statistician.
Nice shot of her.
Coach Supreme.
She helps us out when we're at Robichaud.
I didn't mean Millie was old, I meant the statistician position's old. Reynolds with 8 off the right side.
He certainly looks like a good running back, doesn't he? Just kind of has that running back look.
I'll tell you, Tim, being it's this cold, it must mean boys basketball's going on, and somehow these seasons got crossed because when it's this cold, usually we go indoors to gyms.
Yeah, I might be looking forward to doing more girls basketball after tonight. I think I'll trade the excitement for a nice courtside warm seat in the cheering section like we had last week.
So it'll be 2nd down and about 3 when we come back.
Bob Yock's son out there.
We're doing a lot of introducing of people today, aren't we?
Wouldn't
Seemingly more than any other game.
What we wouldn't give to have a mic in that huddle, huh? Floyd Carter says, hey.
I think everybody just wants camera time. See, Rich Anderson's down there getting paid off to put all these people on TV.
So let's see that both coaches hollered at their team. Let's see who digested more of those jam sessions they just had. So if Crestwood does everything Coach Carter just yelled at him to do, and Robichaud does everything Coach Yock yelled at him to do, what do you think will happen?
No game.
And everybody will be happy?
or a small gain. Reynolds off the right side has a, boy, all he needs is a bit of a hole, and he just bursts through, and he's inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Because Coach Carter must have yelled louder. Alex White back in the ball game for the Bulldogs. And you can bet down near the goal line that's going to be very important for Robichaud to have Alex White taking up 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah, Coach Yock's certainly a happier man with Alex White in the ball game, no doubt about that. Kaczmarzyk hands the ball off. Bates. Look at Jimmy Bates go down to about the 7-yard line.
Tell you what, you're late in the third quarter, a tight game, you're tired and freezing cold. The last thing you want is Jim Bates putting his head down and laying a lick on you. I don't care if he's carrying the ball. You're getting hit by Jim Bates. You're not tackling Jim Bates. You look up and see 230 pounds of helmet coming at you.
Yeah, so they're in a triple I here. Bates, Piden, now Piden will come out. Reynolds following behind Jimmy Bates. And Bates plowing the way through. Reynolds gets down to the 5. It's going to be very close to a first down. Time call on the field probably for a measurement. 4:30 to go here in the third quarter. Game that was a defensive struggle in the first quarter has turned into a wild offensive game here in the third quarter.
You're absolutely right. I tell you what, Coach Yock looks warm over there. Kind of worries me. Doesn't look as cold as we are.
A little bit involved. Kaczmarzyk hands it off to Jimmy Bates. I believe that's going to be a face mask. We'll have to wait and see.
Is it possible for that to have been an offensive face mask on Bates? Looks like he grabbed one of the guys tackling him. Each team continuing to jabber at each other after the plays, and we got Robichaud pointing at Crestwood, Crestwood pointing at Robichaud.
It's still going to be a face mask against Robichaud, and it is.
Huh.
So that'll make it first down and goal, as you heard the PA announcer say. That'll be inside the 5.
We said it before, but I'm absolutely convinced this is a critical possession. They score here, might be it.
4:07 to go. So there'll be a ball, it'll be at the 2. First down and goal at the 2-yard line.
Sources indicate Gary Phillips was charged with the face mask.
Bates and Reynolds. And
Denny saw something he didn't care for, calls a timeout.
4:02 to go in the third. 14-7 Crestwood. And
guys bring out the ice cubes.
as I said earlier, this is our next to last telecast, possibly of the season. Due to the weather conditions and the way things are going, we're not sure we're going to be able to set up to do the Clinton-Annapolis game. So if this is indeed turns out to be our last one, I'd like to thank everybody once again. Coach, fine season.
Coach York there, I think, using the timeout to get out there and get a piece of the referees on that call there. He is not a happy man right now, and he is out in the middle of the field.
Well, that was a face mask. He has nothing to be mad about. The guy grabbed the mask. You can see it from up here.
He used Crestwood's timeout to get in a little of his own beef there. Nice use of time. He's going to walk out the field and give it to him a little more there.
So it'll be first down and goal from the 2. Bates and Reynolds in the backfield. Piden will go out to the right side as soon as they get set.
Run behind number 85 if I was him.
Piden will lead block for Bates, who will lead block for Reynolds, who gets in the end zone.
They definitely ran behind number 85, Mark Stefanowski, 6'6", 295 pounds, and he threw some weight around out there, and Chucky Reynolds went right over his back.
Touchdown number 21 on the year for Chuck Reynolds.
Looking at 2-time Detroit Free Press Player of the Week, Chucky Reynolds.
And he's had a great season. And if the Chargers can win this game, it might not come to an end. They might have one more to go.
He could win the Heisman.
So they're going to go for 2 again. This is big right here.
It certainly is.
Robichaud has proved that they can kick the extra point, so this would put them up by only 13, which would mean 2 TDs and 2 conversions would give Robichaud a lead.
What would you do here? Would you kick it or would you go for 2?
Well, apparently they can't kick it. I would think if they had confidence in their kicking game, they would kick it.
Well, I'd kick it and take my chances. They're going to get called, I believe, another delayed game if that's possible.
So now I would imagine that they're going to have to kick it.
No, if we could find out what in the world is going on. I've never seen so many delayed game penalties called in my life. And they don't even seem like they're taking very much time. They break huddle, line up, and the whistle blows.
No, you're absolutely right. So they're going to go for 2, and he's in trouble. So the score will remain 20-7.
Ivory Burks.
Crestwood will have to kick it off here to Robichaud. Robichaud down less than 2 scores and 2 conversions now. 13-point lead for the Chargers.
Tell you what, Ivory Burks almost received that snap. That's how quick he was in the backfield on that. Kazmarkic was wearing him as he went into his drop back, so let's assume somebody missed a block and call it 20-7.
I'd like to remind you, we hope you guys all enjoyed Extra Points with our very special guest, Ron Cameron, and it was a lot of fun having him down there.
Super fan.
Whether or not a lot of people totally disagree with him, and some people agree with him, but it was an awful lot of fun to, there we are in the booth. A little bit chilly up here. We do got the plexiglass. Yeah, you can see.
And it's cold. It's very cold.
And there you take a look at the crowd. But it was a lot of fun having Ron Cameron on, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the show, and it'll be another big week coming up as the Pistons opening up tonight as we're doing this game.
Oh, you're going to be in heaven now.
Walridge making his debut.
Oh, we are not going to hear the end of it from this point forward.
Orlando is one of my favorite players, and I'm happy and heck to have him in a Pistons uniform. It's going to be a fun season.
You hockey and baseball fans, write in about the discrimination on that show.
Bradley's hit hard and popped. No, I'll give equal. Hey, I like basketball better, but I got season tickets for the Wings, so that's equal time there for me.
Okay. Robichaud doesn't make much of the return here. They're going to start at their own, what are they going to call that, their 34?
We're going to have an awful lot of talk about this week for sure. The Bears and the Lions are going to be going at it. And a lot of people are actually giving the Lions a chance, which surprised me, as cynical as we talked about with Cameron as the press is around here. Some people are actually giving them a chance to win the game, which I find hard to believe. So take a look and watch us. Extra Points, we're on 4 or 5 days a week now. Orsetti off the right side, huge hole, he'll get 10. And that'll be enough for the first down, so Robichaud comes right out.
Dave Crispin, the numbers tell the story. He's their leading tackler. Key 62 solos, 45 assists, and there he was again. He's played an outstanding game again this evening. In the cold and rain and mud, Dave Crispin.
So that'll be first down and 10.
Another big fella.
Why, when it's cold, do these games seem to just take forever? It seems. 3:15 to go in the third quarter. Massey hands the ball off to Phillips, and he'll get a yard, and that's hit. That's the play that Gary Phillips ran for 18 yards and a touchdown. A little bit of a quick hitter to him, and then the fake to Orsetti. This time, Crestwood not fooled.
I followed Orsetti all the way around end and thought he was busting a big one there. For about 30 seconds, I thought he was going to score it.
So it'll be second down and 9.
Coach Carter has done a fine job with the Chargers tonight. He's got them winning 20-7.
Massey calling him out, hands it off to Orsetti. Now he fakes it, now he's gonna go back. Got a man wide open, is Stevie Gill. And just outside of his reach, and Massey had him. Good fake on the handoff to Orsetti.
Boy, Stevie Gill is wide open.
Yeah, the Crestwood defenders didn't really go for the fake either. Gill just broke free.
He certainly did, right into the middle of the field. Oh, that's a backbreaker for Robichaud at that point. It's going to set up third and long, and they trail by 13 with just under 2.5 minutes to go here. Coach Carter said, hey, watch that guy when he goes out deep.
So it'll be 3rd and 8. Massey with Orsetti and Phillips again.
Tell you what, this guy's lined up
Boy,
off
yeah,
sides here.
way
That
offsides.
referee's going to throw his flag. I think he's going to throw it before they snap the ball, which I don't think is a correct call.
Kevin Bradley's foot and a half over the line.
He's about
at
a
least.
solid yard over the line, but I don't understand the call. If that was a call, they can't call that before. Unless it's just the same as calling it lining up in the neutral zone.
I don't understand how he couldn't have known he was a foot over the ball. I mean, it's way, I mean, wasn't even close.
Call offsides on a play like that before I snap the ball?
So it'll be 3rd down and 13. Yeah, Tim's carrying on his own conversation with everybody else.
I went for some technical help there.
3rd down and 13. Massey, quick hitter over to Bradley, and he gets the 5 that he lost as Kevin Bradley was the one offsides. So it'll be 4th down.
Apologize for yelling in the background. There's Bradley's stats.
Everybody's standing up here in the booth. I think it's a little warmer when you stand up.
Absolutely. What I was clarifying was that it can definitely be called offsides in high school football once the linemen and everyone is set in their positions, and that's what the ref was waiting for. The offsides can be called before the snap of the ball.
So it'll be 4th down, and Phillips will punt it away. Chuck Reynolds back. I'm sure they're going to try to keep it away from him as they have the previous 2 punts. And this one they just kick over his head.
Chucky better hope that rolls, and it does.
Just barely rolls in by 1 yard. So Crestwood will take over with 1:39 to go in this very lengthy 3rd quarter, leading at 20-7.
At some point, this is going to become a battle against the clock, Keith.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 for Crestwood at the 20-yard line.
The scoreboard tells a story. Good shot of it there from Rich.
Kazmarzik again, Bates and Reynolds. They've played the entire game so far. Hand off to Chucky Reynolds, picks his way through. Nice little run, he'll get 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Might give Eddie Lawrence 3 on that one. He pulled him ahead.
There you take a look at the...
Tells a story, huh?
Yeah, it's certainly...
The wind's blown that away.
Actually, it has picked up even.
Since the shot of the flag.
Guys in the truck really have it tough. It's about 77 degrees in there. They got the door open because it's too
Jacuzzi,
warm.
pizza.
Yeah. Brett Martin's in there drinking, he's got to have ice cold pop because it's too warm. He didn't want his pop because there's no ice in it. Ooh. Bates with about a 6-yard gain. That'll be enough for the 1st down.
Made to pay for it though by number...
Here's a day where you wish Paul Tagliabue could run high school football. He'd let the clock run at every chance he had.
A little credit there to Gary Phillips with a nice stick at the end of that run on Mr. Bates.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 for Crestwood. They're in control of this one, 20-7. They needed to have a shot at advancing to the high school playoffs. They're coming in 6th in points in their region. Robichaud could probably even afford to lose this one and still make it. Hand off to Reynolds. Reynolds met right smack at the line of scrimmage, maybe even lost a yard. That'll probably be the final play of the 3rd quarter. It'll set up 2nd down and 11.
Crestwood playing to stay alive, Robichaud playing to maintain a home field advantage for the playoffs, so each team definitely has something to fight for, Keith. 3 quarters down, Keith, what do you say?
So Robichaud has 12 minutes to make up a 2-touchdown deficit. And it's going to be trouble.
And like you said, the key to that extra point, They're only down by 13, so 2 scores would put them in the lead. There's a 20-7 score right there. Anything surprise you here today?
No, the only thing that really does surprise me is the 2 drives that Crestwood has had to score. Reynolds breaking one didn't surprise me. I figured he might to score, but Crestwood's put together a couple of impressive drives to score, and I didn't figure they'd be able to do that twice against Robichaud. I didn't give them a chance to score more than 13 or 14, and they've already put up 20, so that's really about the only surprise.
I would label my surprise as Crestwood's defense. Robichaud hasn't run the ball like I think they expected to here tonight. I think that's been the key to the game so far.
That's true too. Crestwood's defense come up just a little bit bigger than I have expected. So we're waiting to get it underway here at the start of the 4th quarter. Second down and 10. Just outside the 10, 20, 30-yard line, about the 31. And another whistle. I don't know what's going on.
I think we're going to have to revert to our earlier comments that this just may be the best officiated game we've seen this year. Monitor went dead there for a minute, and hopefully a little...
Did a good job with there, you know.
I'm pretty good at that, huh?
Putting the batteries in.
One of the pit crew members. I flipped over the monitor, exchanged the batteries, and had that thing up and running in about 30 seconds.
Didn't miss a beat.
Not at all. Be my new job. Put that on my...
It's a good thing, too, because our producer's been identifying so many people today, we wouldn't want to miss one. First, second, and 10. To the right side. He'll pick up a yard. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Look at the Crestwood Charger pom-pom squad. And a little of that cheer has went out of them now. I think they're even starting to get cold.
That nippy.
I think I erroneously referred to them as a cheerleading squad earlier, but I believe it's the pom-pom squad.
11:25 to go in the game. Crestwood leading it 20-7.
Or that could be the cheerleaders.
They're still going to keep it on the ground. Let's see. No, of course not. Back to throw. Going to be caught by Pyden, and it's going to be very close. It looks like where they're going to mark it, that's going to be enough for the 1st down.
It certainly does. They got a good mark, and I don't think they're even going to bother measuring it.
Good looking throw by Kazmars. A great call by Coach Carter.
Andy Pyden's best reception of the year. Dan Pyden did a fine job of tucking that ball away, too.
I wasn't the only one that probably thought they'd elect to just try their luck with Chuck Reynolds and run off another minute off the clock. Instead, they're going to be able to run off at least a couple more here.
Danny Pyden knew he was going to take an open field hit there and did a really good job of getting that ball tucked away.
Crestwood has definitely been the better of the 2 teams here so far.
No question.
After the first 37 minutes of this game. Pitch to Reynolds. First time they're in a pitch. He's got a lot of room off to the right side. 15-yard gain for Chuck Reynolds and another Crestwood 1st down. Reynolds is over 170 yards on the day now for sure.
Take a look at it. The guards do an outstanding job of getting out. He dragged Stevie Gill, but I'll tell you what, number 50 on that play, Dave Crispin, just threw an outstanding block and busted that play for Chucky Reynolds. Little plays like that kind of go unheralded or unseen maybe at home, but number 50, Dave Crispin, did an outstanding job.
Crestwood's got to make sure, too, now, after they get these 1st downs, that they use their 25-second clock, because it seems like the officials are taking a long time to spot the ball and get the chains moving, and they're going to use up their allotment this time. But a couple times Crestwood has gotten to the line so fast, the clock hasn't hardly even started. Left side, Reynolds. And he'll get a couple of yards. Clock continuing to roll. It's definitely Robichaud's enemy now. 10:15 to go in the ball game. If you just joined us, Robichaud, probably already headed to the state playoffs, needs to win this one to maintain home field advantage and their #1 spot throughout the course of their districts. while the Crestwood needs to win this game to have a chance to get into the number 4 or 3 spot possibly. And they're doing a fine job right now. Chuck Reynolds with well over 170 yards rushing. He has scored 3 times, including a 68-yard run. Uh-oh, Kaczmarzyk fumbles the football, and Robichaud's gonna recover. So that might have been the break that the Bulldogs needed here. 9:42 to go. Well, at their own 45, they'll take over. First down and 10.
That's a backbreaker. Let's take a look. It's nothing more than a fumbled snap, and
Jamal Bohannon,
yikes.
On the recovery, and of course his knee's down, so he can't advance it anymore.
Yeah, I think he did a smart thing there. He thought about picking it up and running with it, but he did a fine job of just jumping on that ball. Well, let's see what Robichaud has here with 9 minutes to go, Keith. 9:22, I should say.
Wind, remember, is blowing directly in their face at least 30 miles an hour. Oh, almost intercepted by Lou Van Asley.
Whoa, Lou Van Asley.
Wow. Almost. What a play that would have been.
Let's take a look at that one just for...
Coach Jock might have went to the well one too many times with this play.
Whoop, bingo. Let's play Lou.
Third time was not a charm for that one.
George Spinopoulos, 68 tackles, second on the team.
So it'll be second down and 10.
One of the Spinopoulos brothers.
Massey off the left side on a pitch to Michael Orsetti, and he's going to be stopped before the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard. Crispin on the stop. Clock continuing to move. Third down and 11. The Chargers lead it 20-7. We're under 9 minutes to go in the game.
First, Orsetti appears hurt, but let me be the first to say Crestwood has just played an outstanding game on both sides of the ball.
They've dominated this football game totally. Totally, and I'm surprised that they've dominated it this much, of course.
Especially on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, when you got Chucky Reynolds, you have a chance to look good offensively every night of the week. They have shut down.
Robichaud coming in at 8-0. We're not going to take nothing away from them, but in my opinion, they've had the easier of the 2 schedules. Picked off. That's going to be Chuck Reynolds. And I'll tell you what, that might have been a touchdown-saving tackle by Jamal Bohannon. If he does not tackle Chuck Reynolds by the ankles, Reynolds had a whole bunch of field off to the left side, and that could have been totally it.
And running a bunch against mostly offensive players.
Exactly right. He was gone if Jamal Bohannon doesn't make that stop. And he had a ton of room off to the left side.
And not too much science here. Massey just basically throws into coverage. You could say overthrow it or underthrew it, depending on who you want to call the intended receiver.
And Stevie Gill may have had a shot at him, cutting him off at the angle, but I'll tell you what, it's a good thing for Robichaud that Bohannon made the tackle. I'm sure we'll see a run here. Reynolds off to the right side. Stevie Gill again making the hit. If not, he might have been gone there. 5 more for Chuck Reynolds.
Certainly had a head of steam, didn't he?
Reynolds closing in on the 200-yard mark today, Tim, and just an outstanding performance. I was saying earlier how unfortunately, we had to see him play Allen Park, and he was shut down, and we were probably going to see him against Robichaud and have him be shut down, but he, on the contrary today, he's ran the ball very well. And his line's done a great job getting him those initial holes.
You're right, absolutely. And Robichaud's still doing the talking after the play. I'm just amazed how you could be down 20-7 with 7 minutes to go in a game, be dominated like they have been, and still doing all the talking.
Second and 5. Reynolds this time. He gets hit hard by Ivory Burks. He'll lose about 3 yards on the play. And that's the first time all game that Chuck Reynolds has been stopped before the line of scrimmage, his first losing carry of the day. So that tells you what kind of day he's had. He's nearing the 30 carry mark, and that's the first time he's been stopped with a loss of yards. 6:50 to go. It'll be third down and 8, and I think Coach Carter's going to keep the ball on the ground here.
Yeah, you'll see.
Run off a minute off the clock.
You'll see the ball go up in the air again tonight.
Kaczmarzyk has thrown it very well, though. So 6:33 to go, and that's probably, I'm not keeping track, but that's like about the 10th delay of game combined between these two teams today. So that'll set up 3rd and 14 now. And Kazmarzik looked like he was gonna throw it, slipped and fell. He's hit, loss of 5. But more importantly for Crestwood, at least, the clock continues to roll.
Yeah, at this point, any possession that takes time off the clock and doesn't result in a turnover is a good possession.
This now. He just pulls his hand down. They can run it to 5:50 before they punt the ball. So let's see.
It doesn't look like they're going to, I think they're just going to accept the 5 on this because they're not in no hurry.
They've about 8 seconds left, and by exactly when the official pull his hand down, 5-4, they're going to get it off. This time a good snap. Markowitz with a huge win gets away a decent kick. And Bradley dropped the ball for a second. That's about all he needed to drop it for. And Robichaud's in a lot of trouble, down 2 scores with 5:46 to go. Dan Pyden's down on the field, a little hurt. So 20-7 Crestwood with 5:46 in the game. Chuck Reynolds has scored 3 touchdowns, including a 68-yard run, and Crestwood's dominated the whole football game basically. Robichaud coming out on their first possession in the second half, driving the length of the field, but other than that, it's on an 18-yard Gary Phillips run. It still took a 4th and 7 pass play for them to be able to continue the drive. The game's really been all Crestwood.
The strangest thing though is that Robichaud looked good on that drive. They looked solid. They looked like they could run the ball on Crestwood, and all of a sudden that was it. It vanished after that drive. They haven't done it before, and they haven't done it since. And if we haven't mentioned it, that's
the way
Dan
it seems
Pyden.
like they're working on him. It seems like a cramp.
Yeah.
The way they're rubbing it, though, it appears to be a cramp. But he was hurt before the game, so we'll have to wait and see.
As Al Michael says, we hate to speculate.
Yeah.
Doesn't look so good sitting there, though, does he?
No, he's in a lot of pain, that's for sure.
Could just be cold.
It is. We have said numerous times it's freezing. Now Pyden's going to get off.
It's just like, man, I'm cold.
Yeah, it was definitely probably a little cramp. So the clock should continue to run here when we get set.
A few of those faithful.
And first down. Now we'll roll it. 5:35 to go in the game. Massey rolling out, throw it up. This wind's just going to take that and knock it down. I mean, Steve Gill has played an exceptional game, but he's running a 55-yard pass pattern. He was literally 10, 20, he's 50 yards downfield. He's got to realize that there's no way Massey's going to get the ball down there that far. I mean, some pro quarterbacks are doing good when they heave the ball 60 yards after the guy's 50 yards down line of scrimmage, much let alone against a 40-mile-an-hour wind.
Unless he thought Massey was going to keep the ball and run, in which it is a good job to just keep that secondary running back. So I thought Massey was going to run.
Really,
we'll play devil's advocate there, just for the sake of it, but I agree.
Gill and Bradley out to the far side. Massey again rolling out to this side. He's going to throw again. He just barely stays on his feet. Good block there, and he's going to have more than enough for the first down. A 20-yard gain, and that's going to be a first down for Robichaud. Massey almost went down because of the field. Did a good job to maintain his balance.
Did a fine job of throwing a screen with the ref also. Crispin there.
And guess what?
Had 20 solo tackles versus Allen Park, Keith.
Holding against Robichaud, so
they didn't miss anything out there today, did they?
No, lot of flags down there today. So this one's going to come back. That'll negate the fine effort of Tom Massey. So we'll have to, it'll be second down and 10 yards to go. We're under 5:15 to go. So it'll be second down and 11. So Massey got a little bit of yards before the penalty occurred. Again, it'll be Gill and Bradley out to the far side. 5 minutes to go. Massey goes back to throw, fires it over. He's got Stevie Gill. And Gill breaks one of the tackles, and Reynolds got just enough of him to enable Kazmarzik to bring him down.
And that's going to be a penalty on Stevie Gill. And I don't understand what in the world this Robichaud team is going through their head tonight. That's going to take that play back 15 yards if that call's made properly. Robichaud tried to strip the ball on the tackle, Crestwood tried to strip the ball on the tackle, which as far as I know is still legal. And Stevie Gill just went bananas.
We'll have to take a look at it here.
You see, not positive, I think it's Kazmarzik who tries to strip the ball loose at the end here. And Gill just says, here, take that for... Kazmarzik retaliates, and I hope they're not calling it on him.
Well, if they retaliate, if he retaliated, they should just call it offsetting then. And I believe that's what it's going to be. So they're not going to call the retaliation. In a way, too, I mean, I kind of disagree. I mean, I understand maybe, but, you know, I'm not going to use the old two wrongs thing. But just if somebody throws the ball, that deserves a flag. But also, if you punch the guy, that deserves a flag back.
Well, he slapped Stevie Gill's ankles. I say take the 15 yards off. I think it was a proper call.
I see what you're saying, but I still, if I'm Kazmarzik, I'm happy that I enticed him into a 15-yard penalty, and I got to be bigger than that, not just give it right back to him.
Point made. I'll accept that. You're right.
Massey running for his life. Just ends up getting a good gain out of it. Back, so that'll set up a second down and 10. Of course, Robichaud picked up the first down, and the foul on Gill was a dead ball foul. That set up a first and 25. And now Massey just with the 15 here, setting up a second down and about 10. Give Massey 13, setting up a second and 12 here. So 4:35 to go. Robichaud still in the game, but just barely. Gill out close to us. Massey fakes the handoff, drops back, throws it over here. Jamal Bohannon, nice catch. Still on his feet, Chuck Reynolds. Again, he breaks through Reynolds, but he slows him down enough. And Dave Crispin on the tackle, 14 more yards for Robichaud. And it amazes me how these quarterbacks who don't throw the ball all of a sudden look so good. I mean, that was a good catch by Bohannon there.
It's an excellent play. Nice run, nice pass, and where they've been hiding it, that's all you can say. But if you're 8-0, doing things right, we'll take Coach Jock at his word for it, huh?
34-yard line. The clock becomes a bigger enemy now than does Crestwood. 4 minutes to go in the game. Massey throws it out here. Oh, he had a man open, too. It's a little late to go, early to go in the prevent. Chuck Reynolds and Markowitz way down at the 5-yard line. Just wide open.
It's Kevin Bradley. You're right. There isn't anybody near him.
And Bradley catches that ball. He's got 10 more yards down the sidelines here. Robichaud hurrying it up a bit. They don't really need to. The clock will stop. Motion's going to be probably called on the Bulldogs there. I saw one of the guards or tackles pick up his foot. And that indeed is going to be the call.
I think the facial expressions of the ref there kind of about summed it up for all of us. Dead ball. Ball.
A lot of the people, at least over on the Crestwood side, have they're either hiding in the concession stand or they went home.
They're just staying warm somewhere. Probably all in the truck.
Second, why not? It's 80 in the truck. Second and 15. Good looking throw. Oh, almost caught there by Reynolds.
Yeah,
We got another flag. That
play
wasn't Reynolds. Yeah, that was Derek Reynolds.
We're going to call it pass interference. It's one of those where you kind of think the flag is going to be thrown, but you hate to see it. Didn't appear to deter the play any. But I think it's going to go against Crestwood, and they're going to start marching that ball down there. Let's get a look at it and see how you feel about it. He touches him. There's contact. I'm not questioning that, but I don't know. Well, good call.
I certainly wouldn't have thrown it.
Like I said, one of those where you kind of feel like you have to. Even though I don't think he would have caught the ball.
I mean, let's put it this way. I would have thrown a flag on Kazmarzik for slapping Gill in the ankle, but I wouldn't have thrown it on him there. No, I thought that was pretty good defense. But it'll be first down and 10.
Clock at 3:56.
24-yard line now, so Robichaud, you got to figure Crestwood's going to be able to take a minute and a half off the clock, even if Robichaud does score here. So there's not going to be much time for Robichaud to get a second score. Got him down there, and Markowitz just playing super deep. You just cannot let him get the ball that easily. 22 yards. Markowitz and Reynolds have been playing 30, 40 yards off the line, and that was just a little simple play. And that ball hung up there, and it looked like Markowitz was just standing there waiting for him to catch it.
Let's take a look at it. Massey sees his man. You're absolutely right. Soft coverage, but they keep the clock rolling.
No reason to play in the end zone. 3:35 to go now. Gary Phillips, he's not going to get in, and boy, that helps a lot.
It certainly does.
That helps Crestwood a ton. That makes
even one play.
20 more seconds are going to run off the clock because of this. Figure every time you hold them, you're going to run 20 more off the clock.
This next play will bring us under the 3-minute mark.
Tell you, if Robichaud doesn't score on this play, they almost have to onside kick it.
I think they're going to onside kick either way.
Massey, second and third effort, he's not going to get in either.
I'll tell you what, that might have been the difference in the ballgame right there, regardless of what happens now.
Yuck, telling them to get up. Third, now they got to worry about getting in.
You got to give that ball to Gary Phillips deep in the eye. Let him jump over somebody.
I'd go Orsetti wide right now. They've tried it twice. Oh my goodness. And that's
almost positive that was Joe Renna for the Bulldogs who moved.
Why is the clock still running?
Home field advantage.
There's no reason for that clock to be running. That penalty was, they ran about 15 seconds off the clock after the flag, and there's no reason for that. Robichaud's going to call a timeout here. So the Bulldogs got a 5-yard penalty. They lost 15 seconds too. And now they called time too on a play where
the old Kansas clock keeper from the Big 8 there. You can almost hear Judd Heathcote yelling somewhere. Those were our 15 seconds they got.
Oh boy. And I don't know about Coach Yock calling a timeout here. The clock would have been stopped on the penalty anyway.
Well,
so confusion.
Yeah, it's a make or break touchdown right here. So if you're going to call your timeout, you might as well do it when it's a play that's going to basically decide the remainder of the game. So I take that from the point you made earlier.
That's true.
I learned quick. I'm a good pupil.
Yeah, they gotta.
I took your information earlier and applied it here in the fourth quarter.
If Crestwood recovers the onside kick, Robichaud's not going to get the ball back anyhow, probably. Of course, in the pros, don't forget there's a 45-second clock. In high school, there's only a 25. So it's conceivable that even if Robichaud didn't recover the onside kick, they could get the ball back with a minute to go. That is a heck of a difference, though, too, a 45 clock and a 25. Believe me,
absolutely right.
3 plays, that's over a minute. Massey is going to go wide. He's going to hit. He's got to be down. Now the ref in the far corner is calling him down.
The line judge is going to call it down.
Well, thank goodness somebody's calling him down.
Not sure what the...
And I don't think Robichaud, do they have any more timeouts? They can't. Every team has called about 10 of them in this half, it seems.
And let's officially say that that could spell the end.
Fourth down and 6.
Let's take a look here.
They look like they were going to run a pitch to Orsetti.
And right here, Massey.
Who suggested running Orsetti wide? That was a dumb call.
Massey does a fine imitation of a guy still on his feet from from his knees. Kind of did the Tim Conway there.
That's what I said, to run him wide. Now they're going to have to throw it. Massey goes back to throw. He's going to step up now. He's going to be popped, and it appears that the Chargers have done their part into trying to make the playoffs here. And they're going to get a ton of points by beating this undefeated Robichaud team here today.
We've seen some fine accomplishment from Crestwood High here.
And that could, this game could easily put them into the playoffs. The way this complicated system works, they might not even need help. You not only get points based on your amount of wins, you get points on the teams you beat. So in other words, if you beat a team that's 8-0, you get more points than if you beat a team that was 1-7. Also, Crestwood gets points based on the teams that Robichaud has beaten this season and how good those teams do. So it's
like hitting a jackpot.
It's totally it is. And essentially it is like hitting the jackpot for Crestwood, beating an undefeated team here today. Kazmarchik's going to keep the ball. I'm pretty sure Robichaud's out of timeouts.
We're in the seconds here.
We know Crestwood's not going to call anymore.
51 seconds and counting. Crestwood is going to apparently hang on for a 20-7 win. Keith, an absolutely outstanding job done by the Crestwood Chargers as I become involved in the evacuation process here while I maintain my game analysis.
Fine job by the audio department by Britt Martin. We got to tell Britt he's done a super job. We often thank Dave Baker. We forget about Britt. He did another great job today.
Take a look here. Whoa.
Now see that? Now, okay, he was definitely down, right?
Well, yeah, he was down. And I guess what I was going to say is it's not the first or the play by the Robichaud Bulldogs. And I guess I have to say I'm not exactly surprised by that play right there by Robichaud at this point in the ball game.
Well, in that kind of a case, that guy should probably even be ejected from the football game.
I agree. He'd be tossed if I was a ref.
He's down on one knee. You just throw him out and get him the heck out of here. I don't need that stuff.
I can see the frustration, but there's no need for that.
For Crestwood. They certainly, and now the clock stops, which is what I need.
We would exactly like to congratulate the Crestwood Chargers there. You can see the jubilation on the sideline, and Coach Floyd Carter definitely deserves the moment he's enjoying right now. Mick McCabe at a free press scored some sideline seats there. He was up here with us most of the game.
We're going to get some post-game interviews.
Absolutely.
So that is going to be it. They're not even going to have to run a play. So Tim will have to wait for the papers on Monday or Tuesday to see whether Crestwood makes it. And it was a great game for the Chargers.
Congratulations to the Chargers. Outstanding job done today. You have every reason to be proud.
And now the teams, even though all the jawing they did, appear to be able to shake hands and be cordial, and I guess that's what it's all about. So the Crestwood Chargers are going to have to wait and see what their opponents do, and at least the opponents that they've won. It's definitely a confusing process, and I think even after all the results are in, they're going to have to wait till well into tomorrow before they figure out whether they have made the playoffs. For Robichaud, it looks like they're going to qualify anyway. It's just that most of their games will be on the road, so to speak, and so... And John Glenn also, their other team that had a chance to make in this viewing area, they're going to have to win and then wait and find out what happens too. So it was a good ball game for Crestwood here today. They're victorious over the Robichaud Bulldogs 20-7 in the crosstown rivalry. Well, Tim, this has been our last one. I've certainly enjoyed it. We're supposed to head over to Annapolis tomorrow, but we'll have to wait and see what the weather's going to be like. But it's been a lot of fun this year. So for Tim Sabo, I'm Keith Bernick. Once again, the final score, the Crestwood Chargers 20, the Robichaud Bulldogs 7. Good night, everybody.
I have it.
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 I have it. I have it.
I have it.